My name is Roni Sharon. I'm a neurologist and headache specialist. I'm the director of headache and facial pain at Sheba Medical Center. I'm from New York City. I was born and raised there, and I've been living in Israel for 7 years. So like everyone else in the country, it was a weekend, October 7th, and we woke up to sirens, and we did not know what was going on, but we understood that it was something a little bit bigger than other warnings or sirens that we've heard in the past. And then little trickles of information started to come in. And then I got from a WhatsApp group of people in the Army with me. I'm a combat soldier in a commando infantry unit. That we're going to be called up, and that something very big is happening. So around 1 or 2 p.m., we were told to report to our base. We were there at 3. And then we started to get a fuller picture of exactly what had happened. And we understood that things from October 7th are going to be different. We did training for several weeks, and then we entered Gaza, which I never thought I would do at 40 years old. We entered Beit Lahia. It's in northern Gaza. We were the first unit to enter. It was a very scary experience because when you first enter Gaza and you're the first soldiers inside, you have no idea what's waiting for you. You don't know if there are artillery, rockets, bombs, tunnels, if you're going to be kidnapped. Also, it was the first time for a prolonged period that I was without a phone or any communication. My wife, who's not Israeli and alone here with the kids, it was hard for her. And for a long period of the time, we were not able to even communicate with each other. So she would call the unit and see if I was alive and if things are okay. In Beit Lahia, in every single building we entered, we found either ammunition or intelligence of Islamic terrorism operatives. So Islamic Jihad, Hamas, which was extraordinary. We didn't expect that. So practically every building we saw mortars, rockets, RPGs, grenades, tunnels. I think my unit discovered more than 15 tunnels, including a very big one where we found the dead bodies of hostages. And there was a big ceremony when we removed them. Ultimately, we completed our responsibility in Gaza. I can tell you that the second time, and the third time you go in, it's a lot easier than the first time. You kind of understand what you're going to do, how it's going to be, and that was very helpful. As an American, I've never felt closer to Israel. I think that coming back was harder than actually being inside now when I look in retrospect. Because once you leave, you understand that we haven't succeeded in our mission yet. There are hostages that are inside that we don't know how they are, where they are, if they're alive, if they're being tortured every day, and they're us. There are children, and there are brothers and sisters and parents, and that's actually very, very hard. I think it's hard to look at my kids because I think of what would happen if they were hostages, because we never actually thought that. You never think that's going to happen to you. And then you kind of feel guilty when you're happy that it's not your kids. And I'm very happy it's not my kids, but it makes me feel very guilty. So I've served in the Army for many years now in reserves. When I was in the regular service, I was in a tanks battalion, and we actually mostly treated Syrians. So we were on the border, and there was a Syrian civil war. And so actually everyone I treated were Syrian refugees, which I was proud of, and I'm still proud of. I think as a doctor, it's a complex environment to be in terms of war, because war is incompatible with medicine. And unfortunately, you have to do a job that's in a very difficult situation. I do not serve as a neurologist in the Army. Coming back and now being at Sheba, Sheba has taken the brunt of injured soldiers. I believe they've more soldiers than practically all the hospitals combined, with enormous amounts of trauma, whether it's brain trauma, orthopedic trauma, PTSD, which I'm sure will increase with time. I think it's beautiful to see the way the team has come together to treat these soldiers. I think it's really beautiful. There's a lot of interdisciplinary medicine. People are calling me from everywhere saying, how can we treat this patient? How do we treat their brain trauma, their concussions, traumatic brain injury, not just now, but also in the medium term and long term, and giving them tools to recover physically, emotionally, and hopefully lead as normal lives as possible. And I think Sheba's been at the forefront of doing that.